My name's Maurice Benard, the state of mind. If you like what you see, two beards, well, two beards are better than one, right, Dom?
Yeah, especially the long one over here, the long dark one over here.
And mine's white, so maybe his is better.
You're a little patchy too, right?
Yeah, it's all dark in here and dark in there. Anyway, if you like what you see, you can push the button and you can subscribe, and we got a lot coming. This is Dominic Zamprogna, and he's a.
I didn't actually think you ever really knew how to say my name.
I did early.
I do know how to say my name.
Now I do.
You didn't before?
No, and I wasn't joking. I couldn't.
Oh, I thought you. Well, I thought you were joking.
Oh,
and
later.
then I was like, I don't think he knows how to say it.
I did.
And then I don't know if I've ever heard you actually say it until right now. 11 years later.
That's the best. Well, it's a privilege to have Dom, who plays Dante Falconeri on General Hospital, and he plays my son. We'll get into all that more, later. You grew up in Canada.
Yeah.
I want to know about Canada, man.
What about Canada?
I don't know. Just tell me, what's Canada like? I've only been there twice.
Where did you go?
I don't remember.
You don't remember what cities you went to?
Nah.
Probably Toronto or Vancouver
Yeah.
or Montreal. One of the
But it was really cool, and it was clean, and
Yeah.
is that right? And I just liked it a lot. But it's not. And I didn't grow up there. How was you growing up there?
Cool. I mean, I grew up in a steel town, like a decent-sized suburb of Toronto, pretty much.
Right.
And it kind of different because my parents were in the entertainment industry. So
Your dad was a dancer.
he was a dancer and an actor. My mom was a dancer. Have you ever seen Fiddler on the Roof?
Yeah. It's famous as hell.
There's a wedding scene where he's one of the bottle dancers at the wedding.
Oh,
scene.
really?
It's a really cool scene. Like it's a pretty iconic moment from the movie.
Wow.
And they put bottles on their heads and they do the wedding dance and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Anyway, my dad's like the second.
Is that how he made a living?
Yeah. Yeah, he moved to Europe when he was in his early 20s. He met my mom probably within 10 years. And then they moved back to Canada and opened up a dance school. And then he opened up an acting school. And that's how I got into acting. So it was weird because I grew up in this town that no one really did what my family did.
Yeah.
And I grew up upstairs of a dance school. So you'd hear like Madonna pumping through the floor every afternoon. And
Really?
yeah. And I was forced to take dance classes, which I hated, but I really like the fact that I did it now.
Yeah. But what kind, not dancing like I do freestyle dancing, and you did
ballet tap, like formal training, ballet, tap, and jazz.
How did that help you growing up or in acting?
Well, I did a lot of stage stuff when I was younger, so there's always movement in anything you do on a stage.
Yeah. They say that helps, ballet.
Musicals and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Remember that? Do you remember that clip I sent you of that thing I did with Alan Thicke?
Yes.
That was called The Trial of Red Riding Hood. That was from like 1992 or 3.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I booked that is because I knew how to dance and I could sing. And so, the things that you end up auditioning for, it's like, when I was a kid, you'd say you could do something you couldn't do just so you could get in the room.
Yeah.
And then if you booked the part, you really had to go home and learn how to rollerblade or ice skate or something.
Or ride a horse.
Yeah. And that was one of the few things I knew how to do. I could dance. So when I went into that room, they're like, "You can dance and sing," and I was like, "Yeah, man, I can do all that stuff."
So what kind of dancing? Like ballet, or did they
I had to do all of it. Ballet.
They put music on, you start dancing?
No, I mean, oh man, it's gonna be a long day.
That's fantastic. Like you're in there and you wouldn't be dancing with no music.
No, you have music on.
They
you're learning dance steps and you're doing, kicks and turns and all that stuff. I could turn like a crazy man.
Wow. Damn. Now, was your mom and dad strict? I want to get into this a little bit.
Are they strict?
Yeah.
Not strict. I mean, my dad was Italian. We're loud, Always felt very loved,
Yeah.
But there was a lot of hard love too.
Right.
But my mom was the complete. She was just this sweet like proper English woman, you know.
Yeah.
And the big blow-ups would happen with my dad, and the
Of course.
always probably,
Yeah.
especially for sons, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe daughters more.
But see, I asked this question to Max, and now I'm asking you. And there's always a hesitation. But in that era, people were more strict. Parents were more strict.
Yeah.
Now it's not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told you, my dad used the belt, and it didn't mess up my brother, or so he says.
Yeah.
But it did me, but not to excuse him, but his dad did it to him, and his dad's dad did it to him, and it was almost kind of the norm. But things have changed. How are you with your kids?
It's funny because I have that instinct in me to raise my voice as well, because look, just because you raise your voice in my house when I grew up didn't mean you were necessarily angry about anything. It meant you had to be heard.
Yeah.
Because it was loud.
Yeah.
There was always something going on.
Right.
It was busy, man. Like 4 o'clock every day at 4 o'clock, students started showing up downstairs. My mom was going downstairs to teach. My dad was cooking dinner, or vice versa. We were upstairs doing homework, watching TV or whatever.
Right.
Going down for dance classes ourselves. Like my sister became teachers and assistants in the classes and stuff like that. That it was busy, and we were all. We feel things in this profession, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't choose this profession. I think it chooses you. You know what I mean?
I do too. Yeah.
And there's things about who you are that, like, we don't have thick skins,
Yeah.
Things that happen in the world affect us pretty hard.
Yeah.
And things that affect you and your family hit you pretty hard too.
Yeah.
You don't handle, or at least I didn't. I was a really sensitive kid. I still am a sensitive person.
Yeah. We both are.
Like friends of mine say, "You're not sensitive." I'm like, "No, I am." But because you put up,
I know. Yeah.
you put up things to so you can't be.
So you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get. You don't want anything to affect that wall you put, because you're going to feel that pain.
Yeah.
But you're sensitive. I know, because I know those things, and I know I am, obviously.
Especially with each other. Like we have to, as the roles we play on that show.
Yeah.
We have moments where we have to let each other in, in order to make that a deeper, meaningful, more watchable relationship on TV.
Right.
I feel.
Right.
But it comes naturally.
Yeah. I mean, but don't you think in many areas where if you learn or you can make yourself better, then, like, there was a point with especially Joshua, where I did want to take the belt to him, because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't control him. And it's in my book, but there was a time where
You wrote a book?
New York Times bestseller. I was going to break down the door to the bathroom. He had me so upset.
Wow.
And then what happened is I learned that that's not the way he needs for me to come at him. Because it just makes it worse. And he's not really affected by the loudness.
It doesn't affect him either way?
I went inside the bathroom. He wasn't scared at all.
Really?
So it said to me, I'm in big trouble. Because this is my way of going, listen, I'm going to scare you, and you're going to do what I want, because obviously, I guess I was so afraid of my dad. So then I decided, I'm going to get choked up. God damn.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No, it wouldn't be. So then I decided, I remember in the car, he was sitting there, and I said, I'm going to try something different. I'm just going to talk to him. I said, Joshua, I'm just trying my hardest to get through to you, and I don't know if I can. And I saw him look at me in a different way, like, Dad's.
Because you came at him from a different way.
Yeah. And since then, and once he became an actor, it all changed. But I could have very easily,
not have made that move.
Yes.
That's a big step for any man to make, I think, because the last thing you want to do is, or what doesn't feel masculine in that moment is to strip away all that stuff and acknowledge like what you're doing.
Right.
Here's what my reaction was, and to acknowledge that it might have been wrong or something. I just had to do this last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, with my kid and my wife. And it changed, the whole night shifted. Because you get tired and you're living in this, and the world's crazy right now, and everyone's dealing with things, and this is how you really know how are you going to deal with these things, you know?
Right.
You're going to let your stress of everything that's happening, like you're going to take it out on your kids or your loved ones and all that. Those are the ones that we're supposed to love the most, right?
Yes.
Because we're around them the most.
Yes.
We save the best for the people we're not around the most, and we lose our shit on the people that we are around the most. Like that's the nature, right? I feel like that's...
You hurt the people you almost love the most.
That's the saying. But then like when you examine it, it's like, well, why? Why would you do that? And then, but it's really tough to, in a moment, like I don't want to go into like details of it, but it changed my night last night. I was in this, the red zone, we call it in our house.
Yeah,
you're in the red zone.
I call it fifth gear.
Yeah. If you're up there, you can't talk to anybody. No one can talk to you.
No.
And there's a blue zone, which is almost as bad. It's just not as emotional, but you're kind of just indifferent.
Yeah.
And so I felt myself getting into this red zone, and I'm like, man, I can't. And it's almost like you can't rein it in.
Yeah.
But the minute you make that decision to be like, okay, listen, this is what happened to me. I was disappointed about this, and I had the same thing. I was really trying really hard to be a good person and a good father and a good husband in that moment. But for some reason, my expectations or my thoughts took over, and my emotion took hold of me. But the minute I acknowledged that and started talking that, instead of combating, well, you did this or you did this. Well, I only did this because this happened, and I thought you meant this. And, and the minute I stopped, and I just started, all of a sudden the warmth comes back into the room,
Yeah.
And the love comes back into the relationship, and that's exactly what happened there. It's like all of a sudden all this love came back into your car with you and Josh, and it was like it changed your life, right?
It changed my life.
Changed your relationship with him, changed you probably relationship with other people going forward.
Yes, too. And I see him now, and I say to myself, thank God, because he's now becoming like a big dude. And if I didn't control or change that, it could get dicey, right? Because he gets older and bigger.
It's funny you say that you getting angry didn't affect him, because I feel like my anger didn't affect my eldest, but it did affect my middle child.
Right.
Like if I ever raised my voice or lost my cool, it would affect her.
Right.
And she's a carbon copy of me. So if she lost it, I would lose it.
Yeah.
Which is, then you're both kind of up here. And when you make, I don't know, those decisions to try and make better choices, and you see people coming from where they're coming from and where they are, and their perspective instead of, but it's hard because as a middle child, I mean, I'm talking too much about it.
No, you're not. No, you're not. We'll just cut a lot of it out.
Well, it just breaks your heart the minute you do feel that way and you lose your cool.
I know, but
it breaks your heart to see what you've done. So you go back afterwards. Well, our dads never did either. Our dads never came back to us and said, "Hey, son, I'm really sorry about that."
Nah.
So that's the first thing that I've always made sure I did. I would come and say, "I'm sorry about that."
That's a good thing.
Because it's you catching yourself.
Yes.
And that's the first step, right?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Okay, you lost it. Next time, catch yourself.
Yeah.
After you lost it, then the next time, catch yourself while you're losing it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the next time, you catch yourself before you lost it.
Yeah.
And then you don't lose it anymore. That's the next step.
Yeah.
That I've sort of gotten to with my kid now, where I don't lose it anymore.
I don't lose it anymore, but yeah, it's so important, especially you being Italian, me being 100% Spanish, which nobody knows I am. They think I'm Italian, but that's all right, whatever. Because
Sonny's like the only Spanish-speaking Italian monster.
yeah,
in the world.
he's Cuban and Greek, but I play him Italian, so everybody thinks
He's
I'm Italian.
Greek?
Yeah, half Greek, half Cuban, and I'm Italian.
I just found out I have Greek ancestry
Yeah,
in my.
yeah. He's not. He's
No.
but you know, the culture. That's why I think doing State of Mind is that when I hear from men or even girlfriends or wives of their, because the good thing about especially what we're doing right now is that you're a strong guy. I'm a strong guy, and you're Italian. I'm Spanish, and many strong men who are Italian and Spanish, they don't open up like this.
No.
And that's the key, because people need to really believe that your strength is in your vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the yelling, I'm tough, I'm macho.
No.
It's in the crying and the vulnerability. And I mean, we've been good like that with each other.